Are you struggling to receive? Discover how to welcome love, accept help, get rest, and delight in sensual pleasure by overcoming some survival mechanisms that keep you guarded in today's episode with our special guest. I'm Candia Raquel, and you are the Sensual Sessions Podcast, the place to explore sensing pleasure through your senses and moving in a way that it's free from inhibition and full of self expression. Make sure to get these episodes on your inbox every week, subscribing on my website, which is my name, candiaraquel.com, www.candiaraquel. And we have a very special guest. Here is Alicia Ingruber. She's a somatic empowerment coach, a speaker, and a facilitator. Welcome, Alicia.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy too. So tell us about your work, how you get started.
How did I get started? Oh, goodness. So, I am a somatic empowerment coach. So, I work with women to move them from a state of self-doubt and anxiety and burnout into a state of calm, confidence, and creating the life that they love. And I do that a lot through embodiment somatic work. So, my background is in teaching yoga and nervous system regulation, and a little bit of sensual facilitation. But in my previous life, as I like to call it, I actually worked as a graphic designer. And I lived a very disembodied lifestyle. I thought that the harder I work, the more successful I will become. And I pushed my body in every area of my life. So I would work over hours to try to impress my boss. And then I would go out with my friends so that I didn't miss out and I have a social life. My weekends were packed. I would push my body with these insane workouts before work and after work because, I want to look thin like the women I see on Instagram. And I was ignoring my body's warning signs for a long time. And eventually, my body collapsed in a devastating burnout that took almost 3 years to fully recover from. And it was the most painfully challenging thing I've ever been through. And I am so grateful for this experience because it brought me in touch with my body. It taught me how to have a relationship with my body, to understand the signals my body was giving me, to understand how to truly nourish myself, how to set boundaries, how to regulate my nervous system, how to trust my intuition. And through that process, I cultivated real deep self love that was not based on what I was achieving or what I was doing for other people, but just based on who I was. And so I'm very, very, very passionate about teaching other people how to build this relationship with their body and how to work with their body to achieve their goals rather than override their body. Yeah.
It really hit me what you say about self-love, like loving yourself for who you are and not for what you do. Bam. That's hard. And it's like you were narrating your life, and I was like, oh, that's a Pinterest perfect life. Like, okay, top employee, graphic designer is like, oh, that's super cool and a great social life and working out morning and evening. Like, a part of me was my indoctrinated part was like, why is she complaining? Isn't that the idea life? And then like the crash, because
Yeah.
we are being sold like this image of success and accomplishment, basically the FOMO, the fear of missing out. Like you want to be everything for everyone and also to have everything. You want to be a 10 out of 10. You want to check all the boxes. You don't want to be missing. So it's so challenging to understand that doing your best in this schema could actually be wrong.
Mm. Yes.
So can you recall the moment of realization of like, okay, all of this that I am doing is actually it's what I am supposed to do
Hmm.
according to the social norms and what we see everywhere, but it's not the right thing to do for me.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. Um, like you said, on the outside, it looked like, wow, she's living her life. But on the inside, there was so much insecurity and stress and pain. It looked like I was in the perfect relationship as well, which was completely toxic. And so, this image that we are presented, often we don't see what is actually going on underneath. And for me, the key moment was I was in child's pose on my yoga mat and I couldn't move for 45 minutes because my body felt like it weighed 1,000 kilos. And all I could do was cry. Like it felt like I don't understand. I have done my best, my very best in every area of my life. Why is everything falling apart now? And for the first time in my life, I could actually hear my body speak to me. And she was pleading with me. She said, why don't you love me? Why do you push me so hard? Why is it never enough? And in that moment, I was so taken aback. I was like, oh my God, like it was really a slap in the face almost. But in that moment, I pushed myself up from the yoga mat. I sat on my heels with tears streaming down my face. I put my hands on my heart and on my belly, and I said, okay, from now on, I'm going to listen to you, and we are going to do this together. And I have kept that promise ever since. That promise changed my life because I realized that everything I was trying to achieve, I was actually hurting myself. Very extreme. I mean, my burnout was extreme. I couldn't walk to the end of the street. I couldn't go into a store for 6 months because my nervous system was so overstimulated. Lights, sounds, people, I was going to pass out. So I pushed myself to the extreme, thinking this is what success is, right? Even though I was in a job that wasn't fulfilling me, I was in a relationship where I felt completely belittled and unloved. I was with a group of friends who didn't understand me and I felt I didn't fit in and I had to be someone else to be accepted by them. I was exercising, sure, but that wasn't nourishing. It was punishment for my body. It was like, okay, I have to run 10K now. Like, why? Like, and
Right.
so everything in that pursuit of success that we're sold was actually self-abuse and self-abandonment. And it was a very painful realization in my burnout to turn 30 and lose literally everything I had worked so hard for. Career gone, relationship gone, friends gone, health gone, like my home gone, everything was gone. And I was back living with my parents. Oh, God. Which was a beautiful experience. But, if you say that, oh, I'm 30 and living with my parents, our society is like, wow, you're such a loser. But more painful because I had associated my sense of self-worth with what I do, with what I achieve, with who I am to other people. And all my friends disappeared because you're not fun anymore. I literally could not give anymore. And so that was a very painful realization, but that was part of the healing process. And I made a promise to myself that we are never letting this happen again, ever. We have to change. And this is the thing no one tells you about burnout is you cannot go back to your previous life because your body's telling you that doesn't work. That does not work. So it was really a process of discovering who am I really? What do I actually want out of life? Not what I'm told to want, but what do I actually want? And how can I start to create that in a way that honors my body and honors my energy and feels loving and respectful to myself.
Wow. You know, it. so hard to not be able to love oneself. And I say this for myself, like I cannot love myself until the things and people that matter in my life love me.
Mm.
So it's, and then I see like this kind of externally sourced realization, because like, oh, it looks good, everyone is doing it, everyone is going to the CrossFit and running marathons and getting into the 75-day challenge and stuff, like then it must be good. But it's like we somehow are very tempted to relinquish the decisions of our own life to what society says, to
Yeah.
other people that may be well intended, but they don't have the information about the self that we do have firsthand. And then it's like, oh my God, asking. So it's not only asking to your body, it's actually the challenge of being willing to listen.
Yes.
Because what am I gonna do if my body says no? Like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to sleep anymore with my husband of 45 years and you are already 70.
Mm.
Like, what is the society gonna think? And no, I don't want to go to work, and not because I am lazy or indisciplined, but because yes, just because. And that just because you don't need further explanation. When you know it in your gut, it's like a yes or no. And like no is a single word, and then acting on that.
Yeah. And
And
so many of us argue against it. We make ourselves wrong, right? Because when we don't know who we really are and what we value, then we see what everyone else is doing and we can feel like, I don't really want that, but I should. So come on, let's go, let's go in that way. And your body is, oh, when you listen to your body is always guiding you to what's right for you. The right people, the right environments, the right type of work. Always, your body will tell you, go this way. And so it's very much building that trust and giving yourself permission. As Fleetwood Mac always said, you can go your own way, is to be able to decide for yourself. And a lot of people are very scared to do that, right? Because we're pack animals. We want to be accepted by the group. But you'll find that no matter what path you walk, you will find your community because there are others that believe the same thing. I used to be a big party person, go out all the time. And then now it doesn't really interest me so much anymore. And instead of feeling like, oh God, I'm so boring, or, I really relish in, oh, delicious. I'm home in bed by 10 o'clock. I'm so happy. Like, I own it, like I love ecstatic dance because it finishes at 10 and then I'm in bed by 11. Perfect. I don't have to go out till 3, 4 in the morning. And it's just reclaiming those parts that of things that you want as, yeah, this is the best thing ever, and being proud of that.
being proud of that, that's taking ownership. Like, I get more pleasure, I have a greater time being in my home at bed with a warm tea and just like sensing the cushy pillows and the duvet, and it's so soft, and being with yourself and with your body, and doing you, like doing your thing. But that's like Buddha level of self-knowledge and self-agency. Why is it so hard for most people, especially women, to allow themselves to receive what they really want, not what Pinterest says they want?
It's very difficult because many of us are disconnected from our wants. And we, from a very young age, especially women, have been trained to people please.
Yes.
Children figure this out from a very early age. From if I do what people tell me to do, if I'm entertaining, if I keep the peace, if I make other people happy, then I am safe and I'm loved and I get attention. And that's how I earn that, right? So a lot of women earn their sense of value by what they do for others. And this is really supported in our society as well. When we talk about women, we talk about their relationship to other people. She's a good friend. She's a good mother. She's a good sister. She's a good daughter. She's a good coworker. Like it's always our value is connected to another person, to a relationship. And so that makes our nervous system feel safe in what we do and what we give. And when that starts to turn around, to receive can feel very unfamiliar. And anything unfamiliar for the nervous system feels dangerous. And a lot of the time, when it comes to receiving, we on some level feel like we don't deserve it. We have to earn it in some
Yes.
way. And so you'll see women get very uncomfortable if someone surprises them with a gift. A lot of women will say, "Oh, but I didn't get you anything." Because there has to be an exchange now, right? Like, I can have this, but only if I give something to you. Or someone will try to give a woman a compliment and she might not even accept it. She might say, someone might say, "Oh, I love the dress you're wearing." "Oh, this old thing, no, it needs to be washed. It's not a big deal." Okay, just completely reject the compliment or immediately give the compliment back to someone else. "You look really nice today." "No, you look really nice." Oh, okay. So they're not actually receiving. And unfortunately for women, many of us have had the experience that if we were to receive something, something else is expected of us. So it's
Yes.
almost like we owe the other person.
Yes.
And this can be coming from the smallest of things, like let's say your father or your uncle brought you a gift, then your parents say, "Go give your uncle a hug, go give him a kiss, thank him." So now you have to do something because you received something, right? And a lot of the time that can come from different relationships and sometimes also, unfortunately, from men. That, for example, you go on a date and he buys you dinner and then he expects, "Now I should have access to your body because I bought you dinner." And so for a lot of women, that feels incredibly unsafe to receive because it's like, well, now I owe that person something or they feel entitled to something and I'm not comfortable with that. So for a lot of women to keep themselves safe, it is so much easier for them to give and to do, but the receiving can feel uncomfortable and challenging and really unsafe. And that is not your fault. First of all, that's not your fault.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. Don't worry, it's not your fault. But luckily, because it's a nervous system thing, the nervous system can be reprogrammed and it can be trained to feel safe to receive. So if this is something you have been struggling with, this doesn't have to be your story for the rest of your life. You are able to change this.
It's possible to change it. And it's very relieving to understand that there's a reason, what's the reason, and that it finally responds to protecting you, to staying safe. Because I can relate. Like, I prefer not to receive any gift of the uncle than to have to go and give a kiss to an old man when you are little. It's like, mm. And yeah, it's like our sovereignty in
Hmm.
regards to receiving and wanting becomes conditioned through transaction. And yeah,
Yes.
I've been there. Like, no, I prefer not to
All
spend
of us
with you.
have.
And then comes another challenge because when we women, I have done it and I have seen it many times that when we do want to receive, then we smother people and they ended up in debt to giving back. And
Mm.
there's like a very feminine kind of blackmail. And like in Mexico, it's almost like a soap opera. Like you, you see the relations of the mothers with the male kids, or and it's like guilt and martyrdom are used also like a coin of interchange. So like I give you, so I stop giving to myself what I want and what I need in order to give whatever thing to you, and then you owe me your life. Or
Mhm.
so s-
Look at what I've done for you, right? So even
look,
that is transactional. It's not coming from the goodness of your heart of I genuinely want to give. It's now I have control over you. I can guilt trip you any way that I like. And I can feel superior to you because look how amazing I am to sacrifice myself.
yeah, there's a
Big
moral
ego trip.
entitlement. Yeah, yeah, big ego trip and moral entitlement that if you track it down has this very tender and tender and vulnerable root of wanting to receive, needing to receive love, and feeling undeserving of it in such a way that if you want it, you have to pay for it, or you have to sacrifice, or you have to receive things that you don't want. And
Hmm.
it also comes to the thing of forcefully receiving. Like I have been taught to receive the gift. Unfortunately, my parents were like kind of liberal somehow, and like you receive it and you have the permission to throw it into the garbage as soon as the person go away. But good manners is to receive the gift or to receive the compliment, apparently, even though
Hmm.
you brush it up or throw it into the garbage. So I do feel that I feel scared of being bribed
Hmm.
by receiving stuff. And also I am like very proud and independent. And at the same time, as the more I get in touch with what it is for me to be a woman and to be feminine, it has been hard to accept that I have a desire to receive, that there's a special pleasure that I only get when I receive. And it's very hard, first like asking for it, or just receiving when I haven't asked for it, and like welcoming it, and like really taking it in and savoring and metabolizing and integrating it into me. And I think that it's easier to give than to receive. Like receive takes another level of like, okay, this is something that you are receiving that is not yours, that is external, and that you integrate it to you, blend with it, become one. So now you have something that wasn't yours, that was from someone else, but it's your. So yeah, it's
There's a lot of layers, a lot of layers, because to receive is being in your feminine energy. And there's a vulnerability to that. There's a softness to that. And there's a sense of deserving of that, right? And a lot of us, maybe all of us, we've been taught the other way. You only get if you do. And sometimes many of us struggle to ask for what we want because we don't want to burden anyone, right? We don't want to be inconvenient. Um, we don't believe they can give us what we want sometimes. So, and we're very independent and we can do it ourselves. That's a sign of strength. And let's lean into that. But also, sometimes it's can I receive what I actually want, or do I have to receive something I don't want, right? Like it's there's so many layers to this, absolutely. And
Yeah,
that's why it can feel really strange. But it's especially if you feel like you're receiving and there's an attachment to it. And I think that's what scares a lot of women. Like, someone did this favor for me, someone gave me this gift, and now it's going to hang over my head. And one day they're going to be like, remember, I did this for you. Now you owe me. And that's not really giving. So when it comes to pure actual giving, giving is from the genuine depth of my heart. I want to give this to you, whether it's as small as a compliment or my attention and time or a gift or a favor, whatever it is. I get pleasure from giving this to you. It makes me feel good, right? If we are giving with strings attached, then we're not actually giving, we're manipulating. It's like, if I give this to you, you're going to like me now, right? Or you're going to love me now, right? Or I can I can ask for a favor back now, right? Like, that's not really giving. That's more of a manipulation. So to give is actually a really good feeling. Like, when I don't know, you do something for your best friend on her birthday and she's so happy, and that feeling that it gives you of like, yes, she loves this. Oh, I'm so happy. I love to see her happy. That is such a good feeling. And when we don't allow ourselves to receive, we actually deprive the other person of that good feeling. We don't let them have it. We can have it because we want to give. But when it comes to you giving to me, I'm not going to let you feel that way. And so it is a beautiful exchange of energy. To receive can actually be so enjoyable for the person that is giving.
yeah. That's a great perspective because receiving is not only something for yourself, it's also an act of giving the opportunity to the other person to give to you and be on the giving position.
Yes.
It's like,
And give you what you want, right? Not just something that's irrelevant, but what you actually want.
yeah, yeah, like, yeah, you need someone to receive you in order for you to give your gift. Otherwise, it's gonna rot inside your heart. And it's almost like you're giving your heart. And how
Mm.
sad it is to offer your heart and the other person like let it fall into the
Yeah.
floor and splash.
Yeah. I have a friend, and for a long time, she was rejecting all of my compliments. So I would see her, and my compliments are genuine. I won't say anything that I don't mean. I would see her and I say, "Oh, you look so beautiful today." And always her response, "No, oh God, no, I look terrible." Every time. And at one point I stopped her and I said, "Do you realize that what you're doing is actually very offensive to me? You're saying that my opinion is completely wrong every time. So what I see in you is false. And it really hurts me that you are not receiving this form of love that I'm trying to give you." And so now every time, thank you. Like, even if she doesn't feel it, she does accept it. And I can see that she is starting to believe it a little bit more herself. But yeah, it's sometimes when we reject it in that way, it can feel not so nice for the other person. And I say this also with a little asterisk because your boundaries are important, right? If you do not want to receive something that you are not obliged to, I don't care what culture says, society, religion, your family, you do not have to receive anything you don't want, right? I have been given gifts that were completely inappropriate. I was given earrings. I don't have pierced ears. So I would say, "Oh, thank you, but I have no use for this." I was given bottles of alcohol and I don't drink alcohol, like I this is not for me to receive. So your boundaries are always valid, but when it comes to people offering you love, just looking at why do I feel the need to reject this? Why does this not feel safe for me? And
Yeah,
can I maybe open to the possibility of saying, yes, please, thank you?
yes, please. Thank you. And I feel that's a great way to also do your part of being balancing the relationship. Like, okay, I am very comfortable giving to this person, but I don't allow this person to give to myself. So there's an entitlement there, or there's a disposition for abuse from either
Mm,
side. Like the other person that is receiving can be not only receiving but taking, and taking in because I cannot set the boundaries to stop overgiving. And I feel that it's so important, especially for us women, to become aware of our dynamics, and notice and use every opportunity of interchange giving and receiving to get curious about how we are feeling about it, and build deeper layers of our own story, and maybe catch some conditionings that we can like dismantle, and reclaim aspects of ourselves that we had to relinquish for the sake of growing up somehow. So what do you think are the requirements to receive safely, to receive in such a way that your nervous system, it's not gonna get the red lights of alarm that, okay, this is unsafe, or I'm gonna receive this even if I don't want it, because otherwise I might get into trouble, or no, yeah, this is good for me to welcome. Like, this is a genuine compliment. And for example, nobody knows, but the first time that we talked, you told me about my natural hair, that it looked good on me versus the platinum pictures that I have everywhere. And it really, first I was like, wow, that's a compliment that might rub my vanity positively. And then I was like, okay, I softened, took it in. And it's been great, because something as little as that, like, reframed my confidence in my new look. Because, for example, in my case, I haven't been platinum for the last 3 years, because I moved to the mountains and it's impossible to find someone reliable to do that hairstyling. So I was always like frustrated and like, okay, it doesn't look bad, but it's not my signature look since 15 years ago, like top platinum blonde. And now I am like, okay, no, yes, I like it. So I I appreciate that.
I'm so
But
glad.
and I'd like to know more about, yeah, how do you know if it's good for you to receive?
Hmm. So, I want to touch on something that you mentioned a little bit earlier, which is about how relationships are actually about giving and receiving in a balanced way, right? That's a healthy relationship. When we only give, at some point, resentment is going to start to build within us. There is going to be resentment and annoyance of like, I do so much for this person and they do not show up for me. And it's really like, yeah, but you don't let them. We have to look at what we're doing because we're
Yeah.
pushing that away. But it to have harmony in our relationships, we need the giving and receiving. It's almost like you cannot keep exhaling. You have to inhale as well and receive the breath, right? To only give depletes us. Receiving is part of what keeps us healthy, what recharges our energy, and what nourishes our relationships. So, whatever you have been taught about receiving is, I don't know, indulgent or lazy or you're weak or you can't do it by yourself or you have to be the one that's always giving. Can we please delete that from the psyche and realize that to receive is wonderful, especially when we feel safe to. And so often I will say to my clients, I know you can do everything on your own, but why would you want to? Why not make life easier and let people help you? You will be surprised how much people want to help you because people love doing things for other people and seeing that it's positive. We know this. We love to do this as well. So opening up to allow that makes other people feel good. So receiving is not a selfish thing. It's actually benefiting the other person. How do you feel safe to receive when you haven't felt safe in a long time? Okay, so we need to allow the nervous system to start to get used to this new form of interaction. So, what's really important is first to be clear on what we want to receive. What would be helpful, right? Is it compliments would be great. Or if someone says, how can I help? Actually, what would be great? Can you watch my dog while I go and do this? Or, can you cook me dinner tonight? Or what can you help me with a business problem? Whatever it is, what would be great to receive that help? And just being clear on what it is that you actually want to receive. And then when you first encounter this receiving, so for example, when I give you a compliment and your first response was in your body of like, what's happening? This doesn't match my identity or my preconceived notions, is to first notice that the body tenses and just start to breathe into your body and if you can, make contact with your skin, skin on skin. So you might want to squeeze your hand or rub your arm or place a hand on your chest, but just kind of creating that tactile experience as you breathe. And you're just sort of reassuring your body from, sweetheart, we're safe right now. This is okay. And you might acknowledge, like, this feels a bit uncomfortable, but I am going to be open to this new experience. So after breathing and just, a little bit of self caress, making contact with your skin, just try and accept what is being offered to you, even if you find that you're completely capable yourself. So, for example, let's say someone offers to carry something for you. Even though you're Miss Independent and you lift all those weights and you can do it on your own, I invite you to say, yes, thank you. That would be great. And just notice how that feels. You
Yeah.
might you might walk next to that person the whole time going, "Oh my God, this is so weird." But like see how this feels, right? Or you might say like, "Wow, wow, all that weight off my shoulders, I feel so much better now," like just to experiment to see what actually happens when you receive. And you'll notice that a lot of people they just they're offering to help. And so accepting that help, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. You do not owe this person anything in return. To receive is to give a gift, right? And we have to think of people have their own autonomy, their own decisions. If it is that person's decision to help you, that's up to them. Great. I choose to receive that. That doesn't mean I owe this person. No. If I want to give something back, sure, but let's check that it's not coming from that internal programming of I have to. And if people ask for more or something in return, you can always say no. No, thank you. Thank you so much for helping me. I'm going to leave now. You know? Um, so it doesn't have to go further than that. So, for example, if you're on a date and your date pays for dinner and says, can I take you home or would you like to come home? Thank you so much for a wonderful evening. I really enjoyed the dinner. I really appreciate that. That was wonderful. And I'm going to go home now. So thank you so much and good night. You're not obliged to do anything. And see how that feels because in the beginning it's going to feel strange because you've been so programmed as a woman to give and please and do no matter what. So it is going to feel uncomfortable, but there are different somatic practices you can do to start to build that safety within your nervous system and make this your new normal. And this was something I practiced a lot. I love receiving. I love making my life so much easier. It's so great. If people offer to pay for my matcha, yes, thank you. That's wonderful, like yeah. And they're very happy to do so. So it's great.
Wow. I have just had a realization that you are always have your boundaries available,
Mm,
meaning that many times I felt that, yeah, like there was a transaction, for example, the guy inviting me for dinner and then like feeling pressure to at least kiss him.
mm,
And it's like, no, like the deal was clear in the beginning. I im- I invite you to dinner. So that was the invitation that I accepted. And I decided upon the information provided. And it doesn't mean that I am gonna become your, I don't know, one of your harem forever just because you fed me once.
hmm.
Well,
Yeah, that
if
would be
you're,
a new invitation, right? That's a
yeah, yeah,
different thing. Yeah.
yeah, that would be like another thing. Like then the guy asks you, do you want to go home, you want to go to a hotel or something? Well, that's another chapter, that's
That's another
another like
invitation. Yeah.
negotiation for the interchange of giving and receiving, and you can say no, thank you. So it's like opening one door doesn't, like, for example, with a guest that you have someone, as you invite someone to your house for breakfast or whatever, like you open them the door of your house and the door of the living room, and many people don't get to walk into the kitchen in a traditional house. Like they are the guests, they cannot
Hmm.
go all the way into the kitchen. That's bad manners. So it's like opening that door, it's just like the invitation to be in that space. You cannot walk in all the bedrooms of the house and the office and the storage and the garage and whatever. No, it's like we're clear in that this is what I accepted to receive from you, or I am welcoming this far.
Yes.
and
And you are always free to change your mind.
and you're
You
always, yeah,
you might get halfway through this dinner and think this guy's a complete psychopath. I'm not comfortable. You can get up and leave. You do not have to stay. And this is the thing with boundaries. It's very much about listening to how does your body feel? Because your body will tell you, I'm comfortable with this or I'm not. And it's a little bit like we were having a discussion about sensuality as well, right? To sometimes the feeling of, let's say, you're rubbing your fingers together or you're getting a massage and you're, oh, it's so pleasurable. I'm enjoying it. And now I don't like it anymore. I can say, okay, that's enough. Thank you. I don't want to receive anymore. You don't have to sit there for 5 hours going, oh God, when is this going to be done? Like you can always change your mind. You can always say no. That is your right as a human. And yeah, like you said, one thing does not lead automatically to the other. If
yeah,
we go on one date, that doesn't mean we're engaged and we're going to get married. Like you can
exactly.
always say no. So even with receiving, like, oh, people say, oh, I want to come and help you. Great. And they're helping. And then all of a sudden you realize, I don't want these people in my house. You can always say, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to ask you to leave now. And, but that was great. Thank you. That's boundary, right? Like that's enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I like it. I, it's amazing that I am like bodily understanding so many things right now. For example, being in a relationship, like we are girlfriend and boyfriend, or we are married or whatever. doesn't mean that you have a blank check for a lifetime that guarantees that I will always say yes, and that you can expect that I will comply with everything. And that was one of my like ingrained fears in regards to relationships, to lose my freedom, to lose myself. And now I
Hmm.
have like a sensation of always being safe, driving in the direction of whatever relationship interchange, because somehow I feel that I always have the handbrake handy to stop and say no. But I never, I don't know what this conversation has magic sprinkled, that now I finally like feel it in my body. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I am not indebted further than what we agreed on, which also can be like renegotiated, and I can change my mind at any time. And what is most importantly is that the the primal source of information is the plain subjective feeling of the body of yes or no, I want or I don't want, because me, a rational person, always want to explain everything and also give explanations to everyone and not to hurt feelings of people. But it's so important to be able to not hurt your own feelings first and foremost, because that will also restore the trust in your own self to say yes
Yes.
when you want and to say no when you don't want, regardless of
Yes.
what the other person will say. So
And that creates safety in your nervous system
that creates
because you know you can always rely and you are always following that guidance from your body. And I learned this from my father. My father's response, he doesn't give an explanation. His response, hey, do you want to come to this? No, I don't feel like it. That's it. No, I don't want to. I don't feel like it.
I
I'm not in
don't
the
want
mood.
to. No,
I don't
I
want
don't
to.
want.
No, I don't want to. And I was like, that's amazing. I mean, what are you going to argue with that? He doesn't want to. Like, you can give a list of all these things he doesn't want to. He's not in the mood. He doesn't feel like it. Like, yeah, that's
No,
enough
no,
of an explanation.
that's enough of an explanation.
And if
And
you've ever seen the show Friends, one of the characters, Phoebe, I love this. They're like, Phoebe, do you want to come help us move stuff? Oh, I would. What did she say? Oh, I wish I could, but I don't want to. And walks off. And I'm like, yes, this is the best thing I've ever heard. I
that's
wish
a
I
great
could, but I
one.
don't want to.
I could, I can't be because I don't want.
I don't
And
want to.
it's so liberating and relieving not giving further explanations. And there's a gift in being so like straightforward and blunt, which actually means that you are being sincere, meaning
Hmm.
that the other person can have the certainty that when you say yes is because you want to say yes.
Exactly. You're not trying to please them.
You're
You're
not trying
not
to
going
please.
against yourself. But when you say yes, it's a genuine yes. And that makes other people feel safe as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you've had the experience of someone in your life who never says their preference. It is maddening. Do you want to sit here? Would you rather sit there? Oh, I don't mind. It's up to you. Do you want tea or coffee? Oh, whatever you're having. Like, oh my God. Like, and I feel very uncomfortable around people that do that because I'm a bit like, well, is this okay or is this not? Or am I overstepping your boundary? Or is this what you really want? Or I get very confused. So I really appreciate people who are direct with their boundaries, with their desires, because it teaches me how they want to be treated. And that just makes everything much more clear. And if they honor their no's, then when you get the yes, you're like, oh, that's a real heartfelt, full body yes. And that's
Yes.
such a gift to receive.
Yes. And almost as if the boundaries were like this little white dot in the yin yang, in the black jingness. So like, yes, I am opening to receive, welcoming it all, like, yeah, the compliments, the gifts, the help, the money, the dinners, the pleasure, the delight, the attention. And I always have this very clear strength to say stop at
Yeah,
any given moment.
any moment. Thank you. That's
Yeah,
enough. No more. No thanks.
no more, no thanks.
Yeah.
Yes. So what are some body mind, body based tools that we can use to get started with good physically pleasure? Not only something for the mind, but something like, yeah.
Could you repeat the question? Because you froze and I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, you froze again. Oh no.
But,
What's happening?
oh, I think I am frozen again.
Yeah,
Can,
yeah, you did.
oh, we're good. We're good. So yeah, what are some body-based tools to get started into receiving, and especially receiving fleshly pleasure? For example, someone like placing their jacket on your shoulders when you're feeling cold, or that things that have more to do with the body, because receiving an opinion in a way it's easier because you can intellectualize it, but something that really touches you, or receiving a hug, for example, and not like, yes, I love you too, but far away, but like really welcoming, taking it in.
Hmm. So much of that has to do with what you are physically comfortable with. And it's very situational dependent, right? There are some people, it's like, get into my arms, give me a 10-minute hug. Yes. And there are some people where you're like, oh, this is going to be so awkward. I don't actually want to be close to your body. Ugh, right? So it's tuning into the moment. Do I feel safe with this person? If you feel any kind of stress or discomfort, then I would encourage you to politely say no, just to just to follow what your body is saying. And if you feel safe and comfortable, then I would open to experimenting with allowing yourself to receive. And so much of that can be about dropping the tension in the body. So that's really noticing, can I breathe down into my belly? Can I relax my shoulders? If I'm sitting with someone, can I lean back into my chair? Because a lot of us are leaning like over the table at this person. We're in giving energy, right? Like, oh, my attention is on you and I'm giving you all this energy. Lean back. I don't have to work so hard to be present, right? Like, I don't have to work so hard to be in this interaction. So, giving your body little clues to relax, which allows it to feel safer to receive. In terms of rewiring your nervous system, one of my favorite somatic tools is EFT, emotional freedom technique, otherwise known as tapping, which is basically tapping on specific meridian points in the body while speaking statements out loud to reprogram your subconscious mind. I love to tap. I do it every day. I do it with all my clients, obsessed. And so you'll start with the main phrase, always begin, even though I am uncomfortable receiving, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself, right? You're not wrong. And then starting to work through statements about, I am, I'm feeling safer to open to receive things. I am open to letting people do things for me. I do not owe them anything in return. Whatever it is that you fear, to kind of tap on that and rework that can be so, so powerful. So those are just a few of the somatic tools that I would suggest to get you started.
These are great. Dropping the tension in the body, leaning
Mm.
back, being like on the receiving end, not like over the other person giving, and work with your own fears with EFT tapping, with
Mhm.
affirmations, and then the reframed affirmations. So I think I don't know exactly how it's tapping, but I don't know if it's with one finger, two fingers in the nose, armpit.
Yeah, so the points are we start with the karate chop point on the side of your hand, the fleshy part of your hand.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which hand.
Yeah.
And then the main points through the body are the top of the head,
Yes.
the start of your eyebrows,
Yes.
the temples, so the sides of your eyes, the temples really there.
Yes.
Underneath your eyes on this eye socket ridge, so there's a bone here that you'll tap on. Underneath your nose, this cute little groove you have in your chin, you'll tap there as well. Underneath your collarbones, there's quite a few meridian points here, so you'll tap with your fingers just underneath the bones. And then underneath your armpit, doesn't matter which side, on the side of your ribs, there's a very powerful heart meridian point. And then I like to put the two wrists together, and you just kind of move through that cycle while you're saying those statements. The thing about receiving with others as well, I would say, is to first practice receiving for yourself. What are the things that you do for yourself? Because we put everyone else first in that giving, and to take a moment to receive for yourself, to really take the time to make yourself a beautiful meal and, you know, light candles and make it special for yourself, or to give yourself the space to take that long shower or long bath and whatever it is that feels nourishing for you, to give to yourself and allow your body to start to become comfortable and familiar with what it's like to receive.
Wow.
So that's a great way to practice as well.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
saying compliments to yourself in the mirror. You look beautiful today. You're so smart and powerful. I'm so proud of you. You are doing amazing. Yeah. See, look how much you're smiling. Like it's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, like feeling coy and shy, but also like very happy and like, "Ah, thank you." Yes, yes. I'm gonna right away write a bunch of compliments in a post-it and paste it in the mirror. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Read it out loud. Use your voice and really
Okay.
feel the resonance of saying those words to yourself. Extra
Yes.
points if you look at yourself in the eyes in the mirror when you do that.
Okay, extra points. And do I say it, I look beautiful, or I say it, you look beautiful? You or I, which is better?
I don't think whatever feels more comfortable for you. I like to say you. I like to talk to myself. And when you first start doing this, it can feel very uncomfortable. You might be like, this is weird, like, oh, this
This
is
is
silly,
weird.
like, okay. But the more often you do it, I mean, now every time I pass a mirror, I will like smile at myself or wink at myself or wave at myself, be like, hey, babe, like, just, how you doing? But yeah, like looking yourself in the eyes and just saying the things that you wish someone would say to you. Like, I'm so proud of you. You're doing such a good job. I love you and I'll never leave you. You're so beautiful and you're worthy of everything that you want. And today's going to be amazing because you're here and I love being in your energy. Like, I mean, that's wonderful, right? Like, yeah.
Wow, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, really, this is touching. So that I am speechless, which is very rare in me. Yeah, I'm gonna do the post-its, the tapping, and the everything, and start practicing with myself, receiving from myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's if if someone needs an excuse, as it occurred to me now, it's important to be able to receive. So you also are able to be in the other person's shoes when you give. We are so used to giving, so it's like yeah, but you, it's important to give from empathy, not
Yes.
only for self.
Yeah. And you deserve to receive.
Yeah, and you
So
receive deserve to.
you deserve to receive, and it's not something you have to earn or fight for or manipulate your way to get, or you deserve to receive. So I mean, if the people in your life are not giving to you, maybe look at those people in your life and maybe see if you need to get other people in your life. I don't know. But you absolutely deserve to receive.
Yeah, that's a good one. Also to become aware of what you want and notice how is your social circle clicking with that. Perhaps they don't have the ability, or perhaps it's just that you haven't give them a chance. So why not
Yeah.
start receiving now? Thank you so much, Alicia. It's
You're so
been
welcome.
great.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, really. So how can we get to know more about your work and get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So if you want to enter my world, you can find my website, aliciainspired.com, and you can get in touch with me with the one on one coaching that I do, or the group programs about boundaries, or any of my online courses to support you. And if you would like to connect deeper, you can follow me on Instagram, alicia.inspired, and come say hi, come join my world. Let's start a conversation. And you can also listen to my podcast, Radiant and Regulated with Alicia Inspired. And Candia is going to be a guest on my podcast as well. So make sure that you listen out for that episode because it's really, really good.
Yes, we are connected. Embodiment forces together.
Yes, it's all
Yeah,
about the body.
yeah. Thank you so much, Alicia. It's been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Also, Sensualists, for being here. Go follow alicia.inspire at Instagram. Check her podcast. I'm joining her on one episode soon. And also visit her website, aliciainspired.com, and check all her materials there. And if you haven't already, go grab the free guide to awaken sensuality at my website, candiaraquel.com. It's my name, www.candiaraquel.com. Until next time, remember to take the time to sense the fire of your pleasure so you can share the flame. Yay!